Hello, you guys. This is Dustin Limberg. I'm a visually impaired man who lives in Columbia Heights, Minnesota. Today, I want to talk about the U of M campus, the University of Minnesota campus. The University of Minnesota campus, um, it's a beautiful campus, in my opinion. It has grocery stores, bars and restaurants, endless things to do. Definitely when you're a broke college student. And it's just a wonderful area to live in. That's why I chose Columbia Heights, 15 minutes away from the U of M campus, because the U of M is just a beautiful area. And even for someone like me who's not a college student anymore, it has so many job opportunities the U of M brings, and the neighborhoods are walkable. It's a beautiful neighborhood. And to live on the U of M campus, you technically don't have to be a student because there is private apartment buildings on the campus that anyone in the public can rent. Because the U of M campus, the University of Minnesota campus, 95% of it is private apartment buildings who just promise the University of Minnesota that they'll have cheap enough rents for students. So you can be a 90-year-old lady and live on the University of Minnesota campus or walking distance too. You can be a 50-year-old man. You can be a clown that works for the circus and live on the University of Minnesota campus. So it's just the University of Minnesota campus. It's a beautiful neighborhood, and it's located in northeast Minneapolis and southeast Minneapolis. And it's divided by the rest of Minneapolis by the Mississippi River. So if you're living, in my opinion, if you're living on the University of Minnesota campus, it's actually easier for you to hang out in downtown St. Paul than it is in downtown Minneapolis if you drive. If you're a driver, it's easier to drive from the U of M campus to downtown St. Paul, that's really close by, hang on downtown St. Paul and drive home. But if you're a public transportation user like me, then it's easier to get to downtown Minneapolis. So where you want to live around U of M, you mean the University of Minnesota, makes a big determine where you live. If you're a driver and you plan to drive to school and living over on the St. Paul side of the river, it's going to be good. If you want to take public transportation to school, living on the Minneapolis side of the river is good. Because what separates the University of Minnesota from downtown Minneapolis and the University of Minnesota from South Minneapolis and the University of Minnesota from North Minneapolis is the Mississippi River. So when you're living on the downtown Minneapolis side of the river, the South Minneapolis side of the river, or the North Minneapolis side of the river, if you're planning to drive, getting across the river is a pain in the butt. It's just a pain in the butt. But if you're planning to take a city bus or train, it's easier. But if you're planning to go by car, it's a pain. If you're planning to drive to U of M by car, University of Minnesota by car, it's easier just to stay on the St. Paul side of the river. And I'll explain that all to you why. And then you kind of understand. And the Huntington Bank Stadium is literally in the middle of the campus. So the more that you're willing to pay to live near Huntington Bank Stadium, the more in the campus you're going to be. The more you're going to pay in rent. The more fun you're going to have. The more activities you're going to have. You're going to have endless activities to do. But the further away from the stadium you get, the cheaper things are going to be to rent and stuff. And what's funny is, if this university here will take you all the way out to Blaine, it will take you from the campus all the way through Northeast, all the way through Columbia Heights, all the way through Fridley, and it ends up by the North Town Mall Blaine. And I'll explain to you why the road is designed that way on purpose. But if you go south, this road, the university, the main road for the University of Minnesota, will take you, if you go south, all the way to downtown St. Paul. See, right here is this 280. Once it goes over 280, you're officially in St. Paul. So the only thing really separating the U of M campus from downtown St. Paul in the St. Paul suburbs is Highway 280. So it's a cool thing. It's an amazing thing. And in the north part of the U of M campus, separating the campus, the southeast Minneapolis part of the campus from the northeast Minneapolis part of the campus, is Highway 35W. So if you're driving to the campus from the St. Paul side, it's easier than if you're coming from the side of the campus of Minneapolis. But if you do live on the Minneapolis side, you can still get to the campus at least by car, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But if you're in the St. Paul side, getting to the U of M by car, getting to the U of M will be super easy. So when you're a University of Minnesota student, if you don't want to live between Highway 35 and 280, you're in the heart of the campus, your only choice is to move into St. Paul, or you have to go into northeast Minneapolis, or Columbia Heights, or St. Anthony, or Roseville. But Roseville's kind of has a barrier between it because, there's all this part of St. Paul right here between that and Roseville. So some of the U of M students I know, they live in St. Anthony, they hop on 35W, they take it into the University of Minnesota campus. And these are the students that can't afford to live on campus. And there's some that live in Roseville. That's where Rosedale Mall is. And they take the same 35W into town. And then you have the students that live in St. Anthony. And then if you live in St. Anthony, a lot of those kids, sometimes you can take the highway too, or a lot of them just take the back roads into the U of M campus. Or you live in Northeast, and you can take the university to the university. Or they live in St. Paul, and they take university to the university. And what a lot of college students are going to figure out is, when you come to the U of M, the Minneapolis side of the river and the St. Paul side of the river are completely different builds. The St. Paul side of the river is like a giant suburbia with apartments once in a while. The St. Minneapolis side of the river, you're going to get apartments everywhere, and single family homes may be mixed in once in a while. So it depends on where you want to live when you're a U of M student. And when you're a U of M student, this is a good time for you to figure out, do you want the St. Paul side of the river? Or do you want the Minneapolis side of the river? Now let's go in and take a look at the campus. Okay. The first thing I'm going to say is that there's multiple things to do to entertain yourself. You have the Textile Center, and the Textile Center is an art gallery where you can learn how to make art, how to sell art, how to make different kind of textiles and all that stuff. And then once a year, you know, all the students that go to school there have a giant sale. And with that giant sale, the textile center and the school slash studio slash artist or whatever you want to call it splits the money 50-50. And it's a fun place for college students to go. And they have a membership. And then if you pay for the membership to be part of the school and to sell the art stuff, your art stuff, you do get a sale. See, I upload this picture of my friend Trina's boots and stuff that she makes because every year I go. And the Textile Center does not do a good job uploading pictures of their art gallery. That's my friend Trina. That's my friend Paul. I go there every year because my friend Trina, she lives on the U of M campus, and she lives in a private condominium on the U of M campus because like I told you, a lot of the housing on the U of M campus is private because it's Minnesota. And you can see all the artwork that people make, and they can teach you how to do this too. And then right across the street, you have Thresh Time. And when I lived in downtown Minneapolis, I would come to this place all the time because it's cheaper. Thresh Time Market. Thresh Time Market. Not Fresh Time, but I call it Market. I keep on eating Fresh Time, but it's Thresh Time Market. They are cheaper than Whole Foods, and they're cheaper than Lunds and Barley's, and they sell like organic products, organic health food products. And so when you're a U of M student, it's really good to eat healthy because you're just sitting at a desk all day studying Monday through Friday, and then you're going to party on the weekends just drinking junk food. And then if you don't eat healthy Monday through Friday, you're going to get fat and obese, and eventually you're going to die. So, and then and there's like high-end restaurants you need to be around the Fresh Thyme Market. There's a bunch of restaurants and stuff. My friend Trina, who lives over here, says they're expensive, but they're really, really good. And then see how here you have like nice luxury apartments because why, you're very close to the campus. So here you're going to get some very nice luxury apartments. And I'm going to say, as a college student, in my opinion, you do not need this kind of luxury. That's just my opinion. But these are not owned by the campus. The university. These are not owned by the University of Minnesota. These are private companies that are renting the units out to anyone. But they promise the University of Minnesota that they'll put college students first. But if no college students apply for them, that's when they reach out to the general public. And then see how here there's another apartment building, another high-end apartment building that technically for college you don't technically need, but for college you just need a basic place to put your head down and not get fleas. But everyone has a different status they like to live, and we can't judge each other for it. And see how here there's little clinics and all that stuff, and like little things like for you guys to do, like little businesses for you guys to support. Look, if someone damages your car, you can fix your car glasses on it. And see how there's like a little university hospital. So if you get hurt and you're a college student or you live in the neighborhood, you can go there. And And when I lived in downtown Minneapolis, I loved going to on the campus is this place called Shirley Brewing Co. And this is where a lot of U of M kids, University of Minnesota kids, go to party. My friend Trina said she can hear the music Friday through Monday morning. And when I go see Trina, this is where I like to meet up with her. And this place has live music for the college students on the weekend. There is like good pizza, there is good food, there's good music, and the place has 2 levels. The first level is just a brewery that sells like burgers, fries, and all that stuff, and alcohol. And upstairs is just a pizza place. And see how like from here you can I've been up to the second level multiple times. And see, this is from the pizza shop. Oh, guys, their pizza's expensive, but guys, it's really worth going. But remember, if you're going to drink responsibility because we don't want you wasted and getting kidnapped. And see how they have an outdoor area for like music and stuff. So when you're staying on campus or near campus during the summer, you have entertainment. Sorry, I said that weird. I'm just looking at the food and I'm not trying to eat it all myself. See, these right here are condos, and some if you want to like not rent an apartment, a lot of like the Emma Flats, my friend lives next to these. A lot of the old people that go down to Florida during the winter and come up to Minnesota during the summer, when they're not using their senior condos, they will rent them out to college students. I remember when I took that picture. See, it even tells you right here I took it. Because I'm over there so much, and this neighborhood does not do a good job taking pictures. So I take a lot of pictures and upload it to Google Maps for Google because the companies over here suck taking pictures. So if like you don't want to live in an apartment with a bunch of noisy college kids, go to like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or whatever to see if one of the seniors who bought a condo in this area about 20, 30 years ago that now go between, Florida and Minnesota, and during the winter when they're not staying there, if you can rent, their condo out to go to school. And a lot of old people are nice. You just have to ask. Or if you know, or ask your grandma if she knows someone near here, because grandmas know like bazillions of people. Someone that your grandma knows should know someone that lives to the University of Minnesota, because all old people can know each other. And then here on University, a lot of on the University U of M campus, at the U of M campus, a lot of things are along University. So when you're walking down the road, it feels like it takes frickin' forever to get any place. But then you have to remember this feels like forever because it's just a straight road. And then there's the Green Line train here will take you all the way from downtown St. Paul all the way down to downtown Minneapolis. So if you take public transportation, living in downtown Minneapolis is good because you can just hop on the train, get to school, go after you're done with school, take the train right back downtown Minneapolis. But if you live in downtown St. Paul, you can take the train right down downtown St. Paul. But if you drive, getting to U of M is easy. But if you live on the Minneapolis side and you don't drive, the reason why the U of M has so much public transportation is so those people can easily get over the river. And then you have a United States Postal Service office. And this, when I lived in downtown, I used to come because my postal office was not the best because of lack of staffing in the one in downtown. So I would take the Green Line train to this postal office, and then I would go here and I would ship things to like my dad who lives in Otsego, or my mom who lives down in Florida. I would buy like cool U of M shirts or whatever, or printed out a cool picture I wanted my mom to have. I would go to this postal service office and I would just ship it out. And the good thing is if you're out from out of state, your mom and dad are like, oh, we miss you or whatever. And then you can come here. You can go to Walgreens, print off pictures, that you want them to see, put them in an envelope, come to this postal office, and then ship them photos. And then they can see you all happy and smiling and blah blah blah. And then there's a Hampton Inn and Suites here too on the campus. And this is so when your parents come and visit you, they don't have to stay with you and your 10 roommates. I'm trying to make it funny, you guys. Because in reality, with today's economy, that's the truth. So instead of your parents staying with you and your 10 roommates to be able to afford rent and survive, they can stay at this beautiful Hilton. Sorry, I keep on saying Hilton because I always picture Hilton. Hampton Hotel, and they can stay there in comfort and stuff, and you can meet them there, and they don't know how poor that you are, and they don't judge you. They can't judge you if they're not staying with you. And then they can stay at this hotel. And this right here is the 6 bus. Oh, and I guess the 33. I don't know where the 33 goes, but right here is also a 6 bus stop that will take you from Northeast all the way to the stadium. Look at, there's Anytime Fitness, so you can work out. There's a gas station where like you can buy bloatfish. So bloatfish is if you have too much to drink, you can buy bloatfish, and bloatfish makes you pee out your alcohol out, and then like you can be more sober the next day. So you can go there, buy your condoms, your blowfish, your midnight snacks, like things that that you can't get at Fresh Thyme Market, things that you can't get there. U of M students normally come to the gas station for it. And then there's a pizza place. Like, I could and there's like all these like music selling record stores along University. That's what, and don't worry, I'll eventually go down Street View for you and see how there's more apartments, more luxury apartments here, but they don't have pictures. So one of these days I should go down there and take a picture. And here's a credit union. And credit unions are very important because credit unions are better than banks for young people. So if you're a University of Minnesota student and you're saving up your money, you want to go to a credit union. Because there's federal laws like through the whole United States that because a lot of credit unions get funded from federal dollars, and they get tax exempt from a lot of federal taxes that regular banks don't. Because the government gives a lot of credit unions a lot of mercy that they don't give the banks, the credit unions have to be nicer to people than the banks. And credit unions are good for low income people working minimum wage jobs, college kids going to take loans out, and then they give out credit cards to people who are just starting out in life that a lot of big banks won't. And then the good thing is a lot of these credit unions, they work together with other major credit unions, and they have like mobile apps and all that stuff. And then be lucky that because you're a college student, you're not going to have a lot of spare money anyways, because all your money's be used to pay for school and rent and phone bill and stuff. That the few money that the extra money you do have, you should definitely feel safe putting in a credit union. That's just my opinion. And if you fall down University, that's why it's called University, because it has everything you need. And see, here's another hotel. So your parents can stay here and not at your place with a bunch of roommates. And then so they can't judge you and your roommate's lifestyle if they're not staying with you. And then your parents can be comfortable as they're coming to come visit you when you're living nearby. And then see how there's like little tea houses and stuff, and how there's bus stops here that'll take you to downtown Minneapolis. I know that because I took these buses before. And then when I lived in downtown, I don't really take this station. I don't take this Green Line station anymore. Because when I lived in downtown, I would get off here and I would do everything I needed on U of M campus because the downtown Nicollet Mall is dying. So if I wanted to do my major shopping without going to the Mall of America, where I worked at the time, I would come here to the U of M campus because the U of M campus had everything I needed that wasn't at the Mall of America where I worked or wasn't in South Minneapolis. So, and then the U of M campus is way safer than South Minneapolis. So, I would go take the Green Line train, get off here, do all my shopping, and and try to live my life. And then around here, there's a bunch of restaurants. This place helps U of M students because we're at the campus. And then right here is the big campus buildings with parks and the big campus buildings and stuff. And then it's kind of hard for me to explain because you guys, it's hard for me to explain. And then see how like here there is like things for like medical doctors and all that stuff for college students and offices. And the U of M has a lot of green space around their buildings. Lots, like in the winter, it's hard to tell because the green space, is covered with snow. But when there's not a lot of snow, when you're going down, you see how university got big and now university is small, the road's physically smaller now because you're going into the older part of the. And then you have like great clips here. You can get your hair cut. This Target it's called the Dinkytown Target. It's okay, so it's not a full-blown Target. And this is mostly made, it's mostly, anyone can shop there. There's no law saying non-university students can shop there. But and I can go shop there. I shop there once or two times. But this place is the size of about a CVS or a Walgreens. And it sells just the basic necessities that college students need. It's like Fresh Fime Market where they just sell the basics that you need. And because this is in the middle of a college campus, there's not a lot of room to put like a real Target because a real Target needs like a whole city block. So they built a mini Target here. Let me see if I can show you guys pictures. They built a mini like CVS size Target. So U of M students can go in there, get their basic stuff, survive. Because remember, at U of M, if you're a student, you need like food, healthy food, so you don't eat, and you need frying pans. So then like you don't starve to death. And this Target has a parking ramp underneath. So but the parking ramp you have to pay. So is this easier for you to walk? And then, you can go there, you can buy your food and all that stuff. And then see how here there's like industrial park full of businesses. So if you need to work when you're in school, you can. See how there's a Great Clips. There's another restaurant here. See all these restaurants you can work at and eat at and hang out with. And here's more of the campus. There's parks and all that stuff here. It's kind of hard to explain. But once you guys go there in person, in this part of town, the apartments are also very, very, very old. Because this is the original part of the campus around this Target. So, of course, the Target's in the new building. Around this building, you'll see a bunch of brick buildings built around about 40 to 50 years ago. and they're just older buildings. They're not, like from the outside, they look like crap, but once you go inside the buildings, you're like, wow, this is actually like a very nice building. And see how it's going along the park. And then see here's some like more high-end apartments. See how they have that brick feeling, that brick look, but if you're like your suburban kid, that looks like, oh, that looks like an old apartment. It is an old apartment, but once you go in, you'd be like, oh God, this is a very nice apartment. And see how like here, there's even more things to eat, more things to stay. See how this apartment's not old, but it's not new either. It's kind of mid-century. And then see how here there's an old apartment here. I used to walk past these when I wanted my exercise, and some of these apartments they definitely need some TLC. But this is Central. This is the road I live on, up in Columbia Heights. Because to get to Columbia Heights, you can go down University to get there, or you can go down Central / 65. And then here you guys have Lunds and Barley's. And Lunds and Barley's competes with Fresh Fine Market and with Target on the University of Minnesota campus. So right now you're getting towards the end of the campus. And see how there's like little parks for you to hang out at. See how like you have little bagel shop, you have a parking ramp. So in Minneapolis, when you see a PSP plus parking, that is a brand of parking ramp. And because Minneapolis, we have one company that kind of monopolizes parking ramps. So when you see SP plus parking, that's one of the major parking ramp companies in the city. And if your parents want to come visit, I advise you to have them park in parking ramps, even if they cost more, because a lot of parking ramps, they have security, so no one's not really going to mess with your parents' car. Because you don't want you parking on the street and someone denting your parents' car or scratching your parents' car, and then now they have a bad memory instead of having a good one with you. And then see right here's Hennepin, and see how you have all these like exercise places. You have like rental townhomes here. You have Punch Pizza, the healthy pizza place. I eat at this Corey Copper Indian eatery and bar a lot. Because when I lived on Hennepin in downtown Minneapolis for my exercise, I would walk down to this place, and I'll eat at this place on my days off when I didn't want to go too deep into the University of Minnesota campus. And then I would eat there, and then I would walk back home. Get my 3 miles worth of walking. And then you see how you guys have like all these like mom and pop businesses, major apartments, and then living this part of the campus is the most expensive, because living in Northeast Minneapolis is so expensive because everything's so new. Because this is the new part of the campus. And see how here they have like the high-end art places, the high-end beauty salons. Let me see. And they have some older buildings, of course, because it's Minneapolis. Okay, and look at, they have some condominiums. You can probably ask some of the old people who own units there online if like they're willing to rent them out to you. And see how much entertainment there is to do. Look at all these restaurants, auto centers. I know who wants to go like, yay, I want to go hang out at the car auto center. But this is a good thing. That means if you have issues with your car, there's someone on the campus that can fix it. and that's a good thing. And see how like there's a salon, high-end salon, there's a yoga studio, there's a sandwich place, another holiday gas station to get those naughty or non-naughty items when you're hanging out as a college student. And see how there's like other services here to help you underneath these apartment buildings. And like over here, guys, every time I go by on the 10 bus, they're always building something, always building something. They bought some old single family home, knocking it down and building something new. So and then right up here, it gets kind of like in once like here, like you do have LCs, and but up in this part northeast Minneapolis, it's just a bunch of single family homes and stuff. So there's nothing really exciting unless you like me and you take the 11 bus that goes from Columbia Heights through this neighborhood all the way to downtown Minneapolis. And I do that just because back here there's a bunch of beautiful homes that are just worth looking at, because the homes here are used to be where the Donald Trumps of the world of Minnesota used to live when Minneapolis was first being built, because of the river access. So this is where the elite used to live, kind of, in this part of Minneapolis, because of the river, the peacefulness, the trees. And then and now this is where this is the road I live on. And then once you get to this point up here past Hennepin, university gets kind of boring, and the focuses then the energy turns on Central, because university kind of the fun part of university kind of ends when university and Hennepin meet, because when they designed this, they designed the University of Minnesota to end in the campus to end at Hennepin. They planned. That's the furthest college students will probably want to live if they're not from the state. But that's not always true. So then I live on Central here. I'll take you up Central. See, in Central curves. So the further you go away from downtown Minneapolis, the further you get away from the river. And see why I chose this area? Because it has a bunch of parks. And then right here, Broadway. The reason why Broadway has so many businesses on it is because Broadway is a major road that people use to get between University and Central. See how here there's a McDonald's for the college kids to use. There is like a Speedway gas station, get your naughty college stuff. You mean? And so Broadway here is one of the major roads that links University here to Central here where I live. So a lot of the times when I walk in Columbia Heights, I normally walk between these two roads, like between University and Central, because a lot of the neighborhoods in between these two major roads are like really massive old mansions, and they're beautiful to look at. Just beautiful to look at. So they're around here like University, they have a McDonald's, they have little bars for the college students to eat at. But most of the people who live up in this part of Northeast, they're mostly not college students anymore. They're normally the staff that keeps the colleges running. So let's keep on going up University. We can go up Central in a minute. See how University goes from some small to big again? And see how like there's all these like regular businesses now? Like, of course, if like you lived up in here and you took University into campus, you're still gonna have things to do. Like these mom and pop bars and stuff. that are made for people like you that live out here. But you mean see how like then like who you can buy community garden stuff. You mean hey, at least there's a grill out here, so like you can do something on the weekends. This is why I chose Central, because going on this point, they didn't expect college kids to live this far north. So then it gets kind of boring. So then this is more for the staff who kind of like work at the U of M and just want to be away from the students. See, and over here you have more things to do because of the river. Trust me, in Minneapolis, if you live along the river, it makes a big difference on what kind of businesses you get. And see how over here there's a major park. There's like all these small businesses like shuffled in here on University. And see how there's like little churches, because now like you're going into, and some of these churches out over here are beautiful. I take the 11 bus through this neighborhood, and they're just beautiful to look at. Beautiful buildings, beautiful old apartments. The only negative about this neighborhood is everything's kind of squished. If you have a car, it's very hard to park it in this neighborhood because everything's so squished together. See how there's a U-Haul? And then see how and see how here, let's see what bus this says. Okay, this is 824. I don't take that bus. I haven't took that bus yet. The 824 bus, I have never took it, but the 824 bus goes Monday through Friday because that's when college kids need to do their classes. It goes all the way from Blaine, right where the Northtown Mall and University. Okay, so the University ends at the Northtown Mall Blaine. It goes from the Northtown Mall Blaine all the way down to the U of M. And then it drops people off and then takes them all the way back up to the Northtown Mall Blaine, where college students can, because the reason why it takes you to Northtown Mall Blaine is because that's where college students can park for free and then take the bus in. If you don't live in this area. Or if you live in this area over here, you can take the bus in. And it's also made for the staff because the University of Minnesota has so much staff, you guys, that if everyone drove to work, there'll be no parking for anyone. So, see how there's a car wash, and then see then it goes over the train tracks. These are train tracks, and I hear trains all the time when I leave my condo because of the way it is. See how over here you see there's like a phone company, and see how it gets more boring. But this park right here is amazing, and this is Central right here. So sometimes when I'm bored, I'll walk from Central through this park to University, and then I'll go down this way, take this road here, go back to Central, and then walk back home. It's about a 4-mile, 5-mile walk, and and then right here where it says Central Market, this is where Columbia Heights begins. Right here. And then boom, you're in Columbia Heights now. And Columbia Heights is a very small town. I live in a very small town. And then here, in this road right here, 40th, is a major road that will take you from University past all these like mom and pop businesses in Columbia Heights here. I call this South Columbia Heights because it's barely in Columbia Heights. And it'll take you down this road. It'll just keep going. Boom, to Central. And Central becomes a tiny road to a big road. And see, here's the Columbia Heights Library. We have an event center. It's really old. Um, then we have a Family Dollar and stuff. So if you're a college student that lives this far up on University, at this point, you will not go to Minneapolis to do your shopping. At this point, you're coming to Columbia Heights here, where I live, to do your shopping. Because I live right here in Central and in this business area. You're coming all the way this way to do your shopping. So and here's Central, because Columbia Heights is built around Central, not built around University. And because Columbia Heights, we get our traffic from downtown. The traffic from University down here is not that important. It's the traffic on Central of people leaving downtown. And this right here is the community of Hilltop. And in Hilltop is built between University and Central, because in this side you're still in Columbia Heights, but this over here you're kind of you're in the community of Hilltop, and Hilltop was built before Central was built. So when you're going to Hilltop, you're coming in. The best way to come in is from University, because University is the older road of the two. Central is a way newer road than University. So a lot of the newer buildings in Columbia Heights attach themselves to Central. A lot of the older buildings in Columbia Heights attach themselves to University. So if you're going to live on University, just expect your buildings to be older. Just expect your buildings to not be as new as the buildings over here in Columbia Heights. Well, guys, I just was going to talk about the U of M today, and me coming up this far is it's definitely off the U of M campus, but if you keep taking University up this road through Columbia Heights, you go into Fridley, and this is Fridley's major shopping area, and Fridley's also built between Central and University. And see how Central kind of goes right through the middle of the lake. The University was built before they had the technology to do this. And then see how there's a bunch of churches. There's a bunch of random mom and pop businesses. And University in Fridley is very house centric, because when they built University, that was the plan. And then this is M Health Fairview. It's a private health company that teams up with the University of Minnesota. And then over here there's a Sam's, that's Google Maps is not showing. There's a Sam's Club, a Walmart, and then a bunch of apartments. It's it's built in this area. It's such a new neighborhood that it's not even on the maps yet. And see how there's a church. And there's a Walgreens where you get your naughty stuff at night when you're a college student. And then see how there's a little business here. This neighborhood has changed a lot since Google has been out here. And this is Central right here. Central becomes 65. So in this neighborhood between University, that becomes 47, and Central, that becomes 65. And this right here is technically Blaine. And then see up here in University, there's a Sam's Club. Sorry, I'm trying to find things that are fun to show you. There's a Mercy Hospital. This looks like an apartment building. So, and then up here it ends at the Northtown Mall. And Central keeps going this way, but the University does continue, but once it hits the highway here above Northtown Mall, it doesn't feel, it turns like emotionally into a completely different road. If you were going to drive from the Northtown Mall here in Blaine and live around the Northtown Mall in all these apartments here, drive down University, let's see, let's actually do the math. Okay, let's go to Huntington. Okay, 33 minutes. To get from Northtown Mall going down University to the heart. Oh no, sorry, that's me. Let's do Huntington Stadium. Huntington Bank Stadium, here it is. Okay, it'll take you, if you took, oh, that's bus, let's go by car. Because, see, University's so slow, it's not even advising you to go down University. It's advising you to take the highway. University will take you so long. Look, even here, it says take University until like you get to the highway. And then take the highway in. It's not even advising you to take University. But, you know, if you take the highway, like it said, it will take you like 21 minutes. And if you take the bus, it'll take you about 56 minutes, an hour 3 minutes. You mean an hour 9 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes to take the bus from the Northtown Mall all the way to the University of Minnesota. So to the heart. So that's why I'm saying if you want to live closer to the campus, please live way closer to the campus, because the further you go down University, you're gonna lose things to do. It's going to be harder for you to get there. The bus, then there's only a bus that goes Monday through Friday down University all the way. And today's Sunday as I'm filming this, so that's why that bus isn't popping up. It comes once an hour. It's not as, so that's why if like you're going to live, if you don't drive around the University of Minnesota campus, I advise you to live as closely to the stadium as possible. That is just my opinion. Or what you do is you live in St. Paul if you don't drive, and you just close somewhere along that Green Line train, and you take the train in. Or what you do is you live in downtown Minneapolis in a building like the LaSalle Plaza. Let me type that in. Where I used to live, right here, LaSalle Apartment / LaSalle Plaza. And then what you do is you just walk to the train, hop on the train, and you just go right on this side of the river. If you mean, that's what I did. It's going from LaSalle Plaza in downtown / LaSalle Apartments in downtown. Like by the time we walk down the street, down Nicollet, that's like to the Nicollet station. That's about 10 to 15 minutes. Then I wait maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And then like you hop in the train and you take a 15-minute train ride to the heart of the campus. If you're going to the heart of campus. So about 35, 40 minutes. So, but if you're better at and more savvy at the train system than I am, you can probably show up there last minute, boom, take the train into the U of M campus, and everything will be fine. But not everyone in the whole universe is that kind of savvy, and not everyone can figure that stuff out. So my advice is just to live somewhere between Blaine, Fridley, Columbia Heights, northeast Minneapolis, southeast Minneapolis, St. Anthony, Roseville. You mean somewhere this part of St. Paul up here? You mean, and just you will figure it out, and and the good thing about being college is you'll figure out what part of the Minneapolis St. Paul metro that you like and which part you don't like. I know this video was a random topic, but I was thinking about just, but I would show you guys this today when I was thinking about it. Well, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.